Now that we've looked at the different positions that justices the court had on this case, let's look at the court's conclusion. Held. Police officers conducted a Fourth Amendment search when they acquired Chattrie's location data from Google because an individual has a reasonable expectation of privacy in his cell phone location information. Yes, a geofence warrant involves a search under the Fourth Amendment. However, the court keeps falling back on this expectation of privacy. Now, I agree an expectation of privacy is involved when the data is collected, but the Fourth Amendment doesn't protect a person's expectation of privacy. I would agree that most people would expect that any data they share with a service provider, especially one they've contracted with, is private. But what you expect to be private is likely to be different from what other people expect to be private. The problem here is the question of search and seizure. Did the police have probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, to get a geofence warrant? At step one, it appears to be yes. They had both video and witness testimony that showed the alleged criminal on a cell phone. Therefore, they had probable cause that collecting anonymized data about the devices in the area at the same time was a reasonable search. However, when the time frame was expanded beyond the half hour before and after the crime was committed, what was law enforcement's probable cause for that? They didn't provide one. When specific devices were targeted and owner information was seized from Google, what was law enforcement's probable cause? Again, they didn't provide one. Before you get all upset about the unconstitutional acts of law enforcement, don't forget a magistrate issued this warrant. That magistrate is just as guilty of depriving Mr. Chattrie of his rights as the officers were. To me, this is the fatal flaw in the district court's opinion. The district court found that the geofence warrant plainly violates the rights enshrined in the Fourth Amendment, but denied the motion because of the good faith exception to the exclusionary rule. The idea that a judicial magistrate can violate someone's rights by issuing an invalid warrant, but it's okay because law enforcement actually executed the warrant in a good faith, is roughly equivalent to, well, war crimes being dismissed because, well, people were only following orders. While the officers may not be culpable, that doesn't relieve the grievance of violation of rights based on the good faith doctrine. Now, will this decision overturn Mr. Chattrie's conviction? Not necessarily. For the reasons stated, we vacate the judgment of the Court of Appeals and remand the case for further proceedings consistent with this opinion. It is so ordered. Now, hopefully, the Circuit Court will recognize the unconstitutionality of this geofence search and send the case back to the District Court. Maybe then the District Court will fulfill its oath of office to support the Constitution of the United States rather than the good faith of the officers.